God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "My beloved child, remain here with me for a moment, because there are truths that can only be received in the silence of the heart. I know the wounds you carry like invisible scars. I know the nights when your pillow became the confidant of pains no one else understood. I know the battle you fought to keep standing when everything inside you seemed to collapse. I saw when your strength felt small, when your faith felt fragile, yet even then you chose not to give up. And that choice, though small, was great before me. You were not abandoned, you were not ignored, and you are not walking by accident. I was with you in the beginning, I am with you now, and I will remain with you until the end." Do you feel that you are ready for a deep change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes, all we need is a small step of faith to open the doors of abundance, peace, and blessings that God has already set aside for us. A simple 1-minute prayer can be the beginning of a spiritual journey that transforms the inside and reflects on the outside. If you desire to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, both spiritual and material, click the link pinned in the first comment. There, you will find a simple practice, guided with love, that can help you connect more deeply with the divine presence in your life. Do not allow fear to convince you that your story is already finished, because I myself am writing chapters you have not yet imagined. What you called loss, I call rebirth. What you called delay, I call preparation. You are the fruit of a promise that time cannot erase and pain cannot destroy. I am shaping you in the depths so that you may grow on the surface. Yes, I am healing what you did not even know how to name. Just remain, breathe, feel, I am here, and I will not leave you. Comment, I receive God's care over me. I saw you when you pretended to be strong so no one would worry, when you hid tears behind a practiced smile, when your soul cried for rest while your voice answered, I'm fine. I saw you carrying burdens no one imagined, as someone who carries mountains in their chest, trying to be an answer for everyone while you yourself searched for answers in silence. I know the days when your heart began to numb, not out of coldness, but out of exhaustion. You began to believe that loving hurts more than it heals, that trusting is opening the door to be wounded, that waiting is always suffering. But child, you were not created to live in this eternal war inside yourself. I formed you to love in truth, to smile in freedom, to walk in lightness, to exist without fear of loss. You are not the result of the wounds you suffered, you are the result of the grace that sustains you. Today, I enter the places you never let anyone touch, the memory that still burns, the moment that still weighs, the word that wounded, the affection that lacked, the embrace that never came. I touch what you hid even from yourself, not to expose, but to heal. I am restoring your heart, returning your sensitivity without pain, your faith without fear, your love without defense. Comment, my heart is being restored. Child, listen to me with an open heart, because what is happening now is not imagination, not a temporary emotion, not just passing comfort. There is an anointing descending upon your life, deep like waters that reach places you have never touched before. I am healing you at levels where no one knew you were wounded. I am reaching the root of your pain, not only the symptoms. I am removing memories that imprisoned your feelings. I am undoing internal vows made the moment you said, "I will never feel like this again." I know why you closed your heart. I know how much it hurt to love and lose, to trust and be betrayed, to hope and be disappointed. But now, child, I am giving sensitivity back to your spirit, not so that you may suffer again, but so that you can live with a heart that is whole, alive, and true. I am lifting the weight that taught you to defend yourself from everything. I am dissolving the barriers you believed were necessary to survive. I give you back the ability to love without fear, to feel without pain, to trust without despair. Receive, breathe, rest. And I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. Today, this word is fulfilled in you, because I have willed it so. Comment, I embrace the new heart God gives me. I know exactly which wounds shaped how you feel, think, and react to the world. Rejection was not just a moment, it became a mark you carried in your chest. Abandonment was not just absence, it was a silence that echoed inside you for years. Betrayal was not just something that happened, it was a deep fracture in your trust. I saw when you asked yourself, "Am I hard to love? Is the problem me?" I saw the weight placed upon your shoulders and the lies you accepted as truth that never came from me. You are not hard to love. You are not insufficient. You are not too much. You are sensitive, deep, loyal, intense, and that is treasure, not flaw. The problem was not how much you loved, but to whom you offered your love. You gave your heart to people who did not yet know how to care for their own. But I, who created you, say, you deserve love that heals, love that builds, love that remains. I am redefining your story of the heart. You will not stop loving, you will love in alignment with your essence and with my purpose. Comment, I deserve true love. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. Son, listen, the season of restoration has arrived, and nothing will be able to stop what I am about to accomplish in your life. What once seemed dead, worn out, forgotten, or without hope will begin to bloom again. Not because the circumstances have changed, but because I am changing your inner being, your vision, your strength, and your capacity to feel. I am not calling you back to your past, for I do not lead you backward, but forward into what I have promised. What I am bringing to you is not a repetition of old cycles, but something entirely new. Something is being built in the invisible right now, a delicate yet powerful movement that your eyes cannot yet see, but it is already established before my throne. As it is written, Behold, I make all things new. Revelation chapter 21 verse 5. I am healing memories, freeing trapped emotions, and undoing fears you once believed were part of who you were. None of that will remain. The wound that once felt incurable will become your testimony. The pain that once nearly destroyed you will become the soil where new beginnings grow. I am restoring your ability to feel without pain, to love without fear, to live in fullness. This is the time to blossom. Comment, I believe in God's promise. Son, you spent so much time learning to endure, to keep going even when your heart was tired and your soul felt heavy. You became accustomed to surviving in places that were never meant to be your home. But now I teach you to truly live, to breathe in peace, to wake without fear, to walk without carrying the world on your shoulders. I am removing the old weight you no longer even noticed because it became part of your routine. I am breaking the exhaustion that made you begin each day feeling like it was already too late. I am restoring your ability to feel joy without fearing it will disappear, to trust without expecting pain, to love without shrinking yourself. The light in your eyes that seemed to fade, I restore it. The laughter lost between wounds and silence, I return it. The hope that seemed distant, I reignite it. You were not created to remain bound to what hurt you, but to grow beyond what happened to you. I am leading you into a new time where your spirit breathes lightly and your soul learns to rest. Do not look back with sadness, look forward with confidence. The new is not far, it begins now, within you. Comment, I am being reborn from within. Son, listen to me. There is a love coming into your life, not one born from need or haste, but from the divine care I have for your heart. I would not allow you to be loved in just any way, by just anyone, or in a shallow or careless manner. I have prepared something pure, steady, and true. Love is patient, love is kind, it bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 and 7. This love will not return to reopen wounds, nor repeat old patterns, but to heal what once seemed impossible to heal. It will walk beside you, not to burden you, not to demand masks, not to ask you to shrink who you are. It will add strength, peace, and clarity to your life. It will remind you of who you have always been, someone worthy of care, presence, and truth. Receive this promise with an open heart, for when I send love, I send restoration, healing, and rebirth. Nothing will be as it was before. Comment, I receive the love that comes from God. Son, I am restoring your home from the inside out, not just the physical space, but the atmosphere of the heart within it. Where there was heaviness and emotional fatigue, I bring lightness. Where silence felt sharp and painful, I bring genuine laughter and real presence. I am removing everything that drained your strength and unsettled your spirit. I am cutting ties that were not from me, and rebuilding bonds with purpose and love. My children are not meant to live in constant emotional warfare. I make the home a refuge, a garden where the soul rests. Your name will carry peace. Your home will be a place of healing. Your family will be a testimony of what I restore. I am realigning destinies, bringing back what was lost, strengthening what was wounded. Nothing I touch remains the same, and your home is being renewed now. Comment, my home belongs to God. Son, I speak clearly, nothing in your life is delayed. Nothing was wasted. Nothing escaped my control. Even when you felt stuck, I was building structure inside you to sustain what I had prepared. Seasons that felt silent were being refined in grace. Some blessings require maturity, some answers arrive only when the heart is ready to hold them. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23 verse 4. I walked with you in every step, in joy and in silent tears. Now, I unlock what was stopped. I open doors effort could not move. I bring movement where you expected nothing more to change. What belongs to you will reach you. What is yours will remain. What is yours will flourish in my time. Trust. Comment: I trust in God's provision. Beloved child, I have seen the silence inside you. Not the silence that others witness, but the silence that exists in the deepest corners of your being, where your heart speaks in whispers even you try to ignore. There are memories you carry that have shaped the way you breathe, love, speak, and even retreat from the world. You have walked with the weight of experiences that once cracked your soul, leaving you wondering if wholeness was ever meant for you. But hear me now, I am the one who formed you from the beginning, and I am the one who knows how to restore you without erasing your story. I do not remove your past, I redeem it. I do not hide your scars, I transform them into testimonies. The places where you once bled will become the very places where others see my healing. You are not broken beyond repair, and you are not behind in life. There is no too late in my hands. I work beyond time, beyond logic, beyond what your human mind can measure. I know where your tears have fallen. I know the day your voice trembled asking for strength. I know the moment you thought you were alone. But child, you were never alone. Even in your silence, I was speaking. Even in your exhaustion, I was sustaining. Even in your fear, I was shielding. And now, I am rebuilding you from within. I am entering the rooms of your memory that you have shut tightly because reopening them felt like reliving the pain. But healing does not come by hiding. Healing comes when my presence enters where darkness once settled. There are words spoken over you long ago that still echo as if they were spoken yesterday, words that wounded more deeply than actions ever could. There are absences you felt so sharply that they carved themselves into your identity. But now, I am touching those places. I am placing my hand upon the ache, and what was once a wound will become a place of light. The fear of being hurt again will no longer rule how you love, speak, or give. You will not live your life guarded by invisible walls. I am softening what became hardened. I am releasing what has been clenched. You have learned to survive, but I am now teaching you how to live. I am not rushing you, I am guiding you. Restoration is not a single moment, it is a movement that has already begun. Your emotions are being rewoven. The memories that felt heavy will fade into lessons rather than weights. What once controlled you will become something you observe without pain. Your heart will breathe again, and you will not fear the sound of its beating. Before this season ends, I am bringing restoration into relationships you believed were gone forever. There are connections that seemed impossible to repair, conversations that never happened, forgiveness that felt unreachable, but I have already begun to soften hearts on both sides. What was separated will be drawn back in alignment with my purpose, not by force, not by guilt, but by transformation. I do not merely reconnect people, I rebuild what was damaged from the roots. The laughter that once filled your home will return. The sense of belonging that felt lost will be restored. I am turning what once was a place of tension into a sanctuary. You may think the story is too fractured, too complicated, too painful to revive, but my hands can mend what human effort cannot. You are not too old to see new beginnings. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. I am the author of time. I bring forth beauty at the perfect moment. And I have already chosen the right connections, the right alliances, the right love to enter your life. You will not have to chase what is meant for you. You will not have to beg to be understood. You will not have to fight to be seen. What I send is whole. What I send honors you. What I send brings peace. There is love prepared for you, not love born of desperation, loneliness, or fear, but love rooted in my design. A love that will speak to your spirit, honor your heart, and walk beside you without haste. This love will not exhaust you, it will uplift you. It will not confuse you, it will clarify you. It will not require you to shrink yourself, it will celebrate who you are. But listen, beloved, I heal before I deliver. I restore before I unite. I strengthen before I reveal. I do not place a crown on a heart still bleeding. I am closing the wounds now so that when love arrives, you will not receive it with mistrust, doubt, or self-defense. You will receive it with joy. You will recognize it not because it will be dramatic, but because it will feel like peace. You will not have to prove your worth. You will not have to carry the relationship alone. I am preparing someone whose soul aligns with yours, someone who understands depth and truth, someone who can listen, not just hear, but listen. Love is not delayed, it is being cultivated. And when it arrives, you will see that every moment of waiting was actually preparation. You have endured seasons of disappointment, of promises that felt empty, of people who walked away without explanation. And because of this, you built walls, not to keep others out, but to keep yourself safe. I know why you did. I understand the instinct to protect the heart. But those walls, once formed for safety, have now prevented joy from entering. You learned how to expect less so that pain would hurt less. You taught yourself not to hope, because hope once broke you. But child, I am the one who is restoring your capacity to trust, not just others, but yourself. I am rebuilding your confidence in your own discernment. I am reminding you of who you were before the world reshaped you. The softness you once had is not weakness, it is strength refined. The empathy you carry is not vulnerability, it is a gift. The depth of your heart is not a burden, it is where my presence dwells. You have not lost yourself. You have simply buried parts of yourself to survive. And now, I am calling those parts back into light. Piece by piece, not all at once, but with care. So breathe, my beloved child. Feel the shift occurring within you. This is not temporary. This is not emotional illusion. This is transformation. I am making all things new, not by replacing your story, but by rewriting its meaning. You will look back and recognize that every tear became a seed for growth, every silence became a sanctuary where I spoke, every ending made room for what was meant to come. Before this season closes, you will see the evidence of my care. And when it happens, it will not feel like coincidence. It will feel like recognition. Your spirit will say, "This is what I was waiting for." Let your heart open, slowly but surely. Let your faith stretch, even if gently. You are not starting over. You are rising renewed. Your story is not ending, it is entering the chapter where everything begins to make sense. There is a moment in every journey when something quiet but undeniable begins to shift, not outside of us, but within the very chambers of the heart. It does not come with fireworks or loud announcements. It emerges like dawn, soft, gradual, and yet irreversible. You have stepped into that moment now. For months, perhaps years, you walked with a weight that felt fused to your identity, like it was part of your skin. You carried memories like stones, hopes that felt like distant echoes, and a version of yourself that had learned to endure instead of thrive. But look closely, something has begun to loosen. The knot that once tightened in your chest is weakening. The thoughts that once pulled you into darkness are losing their grip. A gentleness, almost unfamiliar, has started to wrap itself around your spirit. This is not coincidence. This is the beginning of your restoration. Your soul is responding to a call it has waited for longer than you can say. You might not be able to explain it in words yet, but your heart recognizes it. Something new has begun, and though you may not fully understand it now, you are already being transformed. Healing rarely arrives in the way we expect. So many times, you tried to force yourself to be strong, to push the pain down, to tell yourself that what hurt you no longer mattered. You built walls not to lock others out, but to keep yourself from feeling too deeply. But walls, even when built for protection, can become prisons. Your silence became a language. Your resilience became a mask. And somewhere along the way, you began to believe that maybe your heart was meant to carry this heaviness forever. Yet here you are, feeling something you did not think you would ever feel again, the soft, steady return of peace. Not the fleeting peace that fades when life gets loud, but the kind that settles in your bones and whispers, "You can breathe now." This is what happens when the soul is tended to. When wounds are acknowledged instead of ignored. When tears are not seen as weakness but as release. You are not who you were back then, not because life forced you to change, but because your spirit chose to rise. The part of you that once bled quietly has found its way to the light. And for the first time in a long while, you are remembering what it feels like to be alive instead of simply surviving. This transformation is not only for you. Your healing is a river, not a reservoir. The freedom you are receiving will flow from you and touch lives you have not even met yet. The strength you are reclaiming will become a lantern for others wandering their own dark valleys. The compassion you have gained from your battles will become medicine for hearts that have forgotten how to feel safe. Do you understand how powerful that is? The very pain that once tried to break you is now becoming the foundation of your purpose. What once felt senseless is becoming meaningful. What once felt wasted is being redeemed. And your story, your real story, not the polished one the world sees, but the one marked by real tears and real victories, will be the testimony that reminds others that healing is not only possible, but promised. Do not underestimate the impact of a restored soul. People will begin to notice the change in you without you saying a single word. Your presence will soften rooms. Your voice will carry steadiness. Your silence will speak peace instead of pain. And when others ask how you came through what tried to destroy you, you will answer not with pride, but with depth. You will say, "I did not heal alone, but I was never abandoned." But healing does not only restore the heart, it prepares it. And yes, love is part of what is being prepared for you. Not the kind that comes rushing in to fix brokenness or fill emptiness. Not the kind that demands your surrender of self to be held. This love will not take from you, it will meet you. It will recognize your depth, your softness, your scars, and your strength. It will not be threatened by your past nor intimidated by your healing. It will not ask you to shrink, to quiet your truth, or to betray your needs. This love will see you, not the version you had to become to survive, but the one that is emerging now, whole, grounded, growing. And you will recognize it, not because it will overwhelm you, but because it will feel like peace. The love that is coming is not here to rescue you, you have rescued yourself. It is not here to define you, you have found your identity. It is not here to complete you, you are already complete. It is simply here to walk beside you, hand in hand, heart to heart, soul to soul, without fear of depth or vulnerability. You once believed love was something that took more than it gave. Now you will learn that real love expands, nourishes, and strengthens. To reach this love, this peace, this new beginning, you had to pass through places that nearly broke you. And yet, you endured. You learned how to sit with your pain instead of running from it. You learned how to listen to your own heart instead of silencing it. You learned that strength is not the absence of tears, but the courage to feel them. You learned that vulnerability is not weakness, it is the doorway to being seen, known, and understood. And now, the parts of you that once felt fragmented are coming back together with meaning, purpose, and clarity. You are not returning to who you used to be, you are becoming someone new, someone wiser, someone softer yet stronger, someone capable of loving without losing yourself. The world around you will begin to shift accordingly. People who resonated with your wounds will quietly fade. People who recognize your growth will begin to appear. The atmosphere around you will lighten. The heaviness will no longer cling to you. You will wake up with breath that feels full, with days that feel possible, with a heart that feels open instead of guarded. This is the rebirth of your soul. And so, stand here for a moment. Feel what has already changed. Trust what is still unfolding. You are not at the end, nor are you at the beginning, you are in the becoming. The part of the journey where the heart rebuilds its trust in life. Where the spirit relearns how to receive. Where the future begins to feel like something you are allowed to look forward to. You are safe now. You are growing now. You are rising now. And everything, absolutely everything, that is meant for you is already on its way, moving toward you with a timing so precise that when it arrives, you will look back and say, "It had to be this way." Your story is not a story of loss, it is a story of restoration. Your soul is not wounded, it is awakening. And the love that is coming is not a replacement, it is the fulfillment of everything you have become. This healing touches more than just your romantic life. It echoes through your family, through your history, through the generations that came before you. Certain wounds were passed down like inheritance, patterns of silence, abandonment, anger, misunderstandings that hardened into distance. Words spoken in pain traveled through the years like arrows, striking not just one heart but many. But this is where the line breaks, with you. The cycles that once repeated themselves without question are ending because you chose to see them, to understand them, to stop them. Your emotional awakening has created a doorway for reconciliation. The estranged will return, not out of guilt or obligation, but because hearts that have been touched by healing are drawn back to one another. Conversations once impossible will become gentle. Tears will fall not out of pain but release. The home that once felt divided will begin to remember warmth. Where there once were walls, there will now be tables. Where there once were wounds, there will now be the slow work of trust. Forgiveness will not erase the past, but it will build a future. And the words you long believed you would never hear, "I'm sorry, I miss you, I still love you," will come not as performance, but truth. Healing is not just happening in you. Healing is happening through you. The emotional roots that once shaped your reactions, your attachments, your fears, are being gently removed. You are no longer driven by the instinct to protect yourself from being hurt. You are no longer living from the same emotional blueprint that once dictated your steps. You know now how to breathe when discomfort comes. You know how to pause instead of panic. You know how to speak your truth without trembling. And perhaps most importantly, you know now when to walk away, not as escape, but as self-respect. Love no longer means losing yourself. Connection no longer means being consumed. You have learned to remain present in your own body, in your own heart, while standing in closeness with another. That is maturity. That is emotional restoration. It means when love arrives, you will not grab it in fear of it leaving. You will hold it with gratitude, with steadiness, with grace. You will give freely because you are no longer giving from emptiness. You will receive openly because you are no longer afraid of being seen. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning. And the joy that is coming is not fragile, not temporary, not conditional. It will not depend on circumstances. It will not be threatened by storms. It will be something that lives inside you like a well that never runs dry. There will be mornings when you wake up and realize you are no longer bracing for pain. Nights when your sleep is deep